Oh, these things are uncontrollable, they are. The Japanese pull saw. This happens to be a katab. Now, I'm not a great lover of Japanese pull saws. I really aren't. But they do have their uses, and they're great for cutting off dowels and stuff like that. You can even trim the bottom of a door. Take a sliver of the bottom of a door, one of these, take the door off. They're great for that sort of thing. But general woodwork, I'm not that keen. I prefer to use my back saw, such as my Tyzac one there, or something like that. I'll show you in a minute. But actually cutting square with these things can be a bit tricky, you see. Now, some people say you've got to do it with 2 hands, you know, got there and you sort of do a special kind of sawhorse for it and all that sort of stuff. I'm sorry, I can cut wood quite easily and quickly with this Tyzac here, single-handed. I don't need 2 hands to operate it, just to cut square. It does a really good job. But I thought to myself, okay, how can I make use of these things? And how am I going to cut square with it? I can actually anyway, but, you know, years of practice. But if I was a newcomer to it, and I'm using this Japanese pull saw, or any saw, is there a device I could use that would make life a lot easier? A device that I haven't got to buy. Yeah, so I was giving some thought, I have, and what actually happened is, I had this stuck on a magnet on the side of one of these magnets, okay? It's just hung up there on the side there. And as I was putting it, okay, it was like sliding up and down the magnet, and I thought to myself, oh, I've got an idea. And at first I was a bit very sceptical about this idea. Brainstorm, you see. And I thought to myself, okay, well, I'll do it with my sharpening guides, my honing guides and what have you. I'll use these little magnets. You've probably seen them in some of my other videos. And I thought I'd see if I can make a saw guide. And what I come up with was literally that. A block of wood. A block of wood. But what I've done is, I used the forcing bit to create a flat-bottomed hole, and I've placed one of these little neodymium magnets with a screw, countersunk screw hole in the middle. Plonked that in the end there, so it's just proud of the actual end of the wood, so I'm not relying on the wood. And I've managed to set that so it's perpendicular. Yeah, so that basically from the flat of that to the base is perfectly square. I even hold to that. So I thought, okay, it ain't gonna work, is it? You know. And the first attempt with it, I used a clamp. All right, I thought, it's got a bit tricky to grab that and hold that, so I'll put a clamp on it. So that's what I did. I just clamped that on like so, and I should really do it the way around, shouldn't I? Let's turn that around. Oh, so that way you can see better. Anyway, I blobbed it on there like so. That's how I cut this end square, which is actually really square. Now we're going to attempt to do it again. Now you could put a fence on there, so you pushed up against the back of the piece of wood. You could do that. You could have, but then I thought to myself, what if I was trying to cut a board out of square, or maybe scribing into the wall where I want an angle of it? I could then use this. Well, all you got to do is you plonk this on there, square or not square, whatever what you want to do, and place a clamp on it. Well, that was my first idea. I just had another idea, which we're going to do in a minute. I haven't done it yet, so we'll do it together. Isn't that lovely? So I'm going to clamp on the side. Little things that make me happy. Yeah, the silly shit. I love squitty humour. I always have done. You know, programmes like Little Britain, Benny Hill, all that lot. You know, it's just... These days, it's all politically incorrect it is. Anyway, I'm going to use my guide, all right, to cut this end square. Then we'll check with the square. Hopefully, I don't mess up things. I'm actually not going to edit this video. It's on this, you see. So we'll place that on there like so. Okay, so yeah, it's attached to the magnet, all right? Sort of, nearly. Anyway, so it's attached to the magnet. And all I'm going to do is, now I could use both hands if I wanted to, but I find that actually it was a negative to do so. So, like, for instance, we stand on saw here normally and go backwards and forwards with your saw, okay? And you're going to cut them through. But then what had happened is that I'd end up going all over your squiff. So I thought to myself, I'll do it single-handed, like so. All right, here we go. Oh, that's a noisy. Right. We've got to stick to the voice, otherwise it'll be right down here, wouldn't it? And you want me to see it properly. So let's go back to the board like so. I'm not guiding it or anything. The magnet is doing it for me. Ideally, this piece of wood should be lower in the voice, but then it'll be too far bottom of the screen. And on YouTube, they'll put all things down there, and you'll be able to see into it. Right, I'm not guiding it at all. All I'm doing is put it backwards. Oh, shut up, you silly thing. All right, backwards and forwards like so. So I'll cut that off, paying very little attention to what I'm doing. let's just see if that is square. Now, right, remember it's just that little magnet in the end of that block of wood, and that is perpendicular to that face there. Okay, so what do we do now? Well, we take it out, we do our device, all right, and we're going to check the square. Now, I wasn't influencing the cut or anything. The only thing that was influencing the cut was the magnet itself. Now, the reason why I thought I'd make a video about this, so it's a good idea anyway, but make a video, was I had a request by somebody. I actually did a video asking people watching my videos, you know, what sort of things do you have trouble with? You know, what would you like me to make a video about? So, I thought I'd oblige. And if I place that on here like that, that is actually square, it is. Let's try that face as well. And it is square there as well. So it does work. I was pretty impressed with it. And considering I was paying no attention whatsoever, I think my first cut was more square, to be fair. But now I'm going to make a little bit of an alteration to this, okay? Now, sometimes I would like to, well, just hold it and not have to faff around with clamps and stuff. So I thought to myself, how can I make that grip? I thought I'd use some rubbers. so it's more sticky on there. And I thought that's still not going to be good enough. You know, you put them back and forwards, but you can make it awkward. You know, another thing obviously would be that fence. If you just cut 90 degrees all the time on the back leg, or a couple of little stops that hung over. You know, they could be in the form of a couple of large washers even screwed on the side there, and then you could push up against the washers. But then I thought, hang on, like I say, maybe I want to do a cut that isn't 100% true. I'm following a line because I'm trying to make it fit up against something. So I thought to myself, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. Right, first of all, I'm going to do this. Now I'm going to, I've got to remember how long that screw is now. It's got to come in further than the screw holding that. And then I'm going to put that on the end here like so. Like that. And I think to myself, well, that's about centre. That'll do. Just use my finger as a guide. Do the same on that one there. Got to be careful here because there's a screw in the middle of these, see? So if I drill through, they'll be drilling through that screw. So hopefully that ain't that deep. I don't think that is. I'm pretty certain it isn't actually. And all I'm going to do now is a hole there. And then I'm going to, maybe I should put a pie hole in there. I think I should. So just probably that one. That's about right. All the way through. Like so. Put this up again there. Before I'm doing the second one, I want to make sure I've gone the right depth, you see, here. So, hope you can see. So I'll place that screw in there like so. And hopefully I can make it so the pin, the pointy bit, just pokes through the bottom, just enough. No, it needs to be a bit more than that. So I need to countersink that a bit more. There she blows! Place that screw back in there. Now, if you don't want that poking through, all you've got to do is unscrew it a little bit and leave it in. So if you're doing rough sawn timber and what have you, and it's, you know, not too worried about the finish, you can actually just retract the screws. But if you're doing something a bit more fancy, you know, and you don't want to damage your finish, you know, obviously you'd remove that and clamp it into place instead. You can try using some rubber bits in there, but I thought to myself, if the rubber is likely to move in itself, you know, the rubber itself will be flexible, so I wouldn't necessarily hold exactly where I want it to be. I'll put another one in here. Okay, that's probably about right. Pilot hole. 3.5 mil. 2.5 mil. 2.5 mil. Do you know what? I think I should put it in the chuck properly. Don't try and tell me you haven't done that before. Huh? That'll do. Alright, the screw which I dropped on the floor 2 seconds ago. There we go. Plonk that in there. Now, I don't know if it's going to work. Oh, screwed it into my vise. Get that deep in. But hopefully, that is about, maybe a bit arms like deep because I retracted it. Alright. About right. And how about this one? That one needs to go a bit deeper as well. And what there's 2 little screws there that are poking through, they'll give me that little bit of stability when I'm gripping it by hand. I had a cheeky comment. Someone was saying, "Oh, no, I bet he's no. I bet he gets blisters in his hands." Yeah, he's been rude. If you know what I mean. Yeah. Oh, these cheeky people. All right, if I place that on there now, you see, it's actually sitting on the pins, on the little ends of the screws, the points of the screws. I'm doing it this way because I'm going to have to do it because I'm going to have to grip my left hand, you see. Sorry. So I can grip that on there now, and it shouldn't move. Shouldn't. I hope it doesn't. The other thing is make sure you wax your saw and stuff. There's a little wax on there in a minute. All right, so it's on there. Here we go. Okay. Let's try that again, shall we? See what we get. This time, I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to the stroke, right? All right, you know how it goes. Oh, yes. Oh, blimey. Oh, crikey, I get all excited I am. Now, if you go too aggressive, you're going to end up going off skew-if anyway, whatever you do. But I'm not actually influencing the cut at all. All I'm doing is pulling the saw backwards and forwards. So it does work, you know. It does. Honest. Let's check this one in a minute and see whether or not it's square. The other was square, but not as square as my first attempt. Oh, Christ. Get off! Right, that was a much nicer cut on that one. Okay, no movement there whatsoever, and the cut is smooth. So I'm actually quite pleased with that. Obviously, if you haven't got a fence on there, you might not be 100% true anyway, but let's see. Oh, it looks pretty good. Oh my God, spot on. Look at that. Is that spot on? That's pretty much there, isn't it? God, yeah, that's square. That definitely is square. Have it that way. You know, I'm not editing this video, so I'm honest, you see, so you can see exactly what's going on. Yeah, corner to corner. Cross like so, and like so. So it's square. All right, cool. It works. It really does work. And it's really simple and it's really cheap. So if you're struggling with a pull saw, Japanese pull saw, because it's too flexible for you to cut square, oh, I just had no idea, right? Maybe this will work with the back saw as well. Maybe it would even work with a panel saw. I'll tell you what, should we try with this back saw and see if I can cut true without influencing the cut? I'm going to give it a go. And I'm going to do it freehand as well, as in I'm just going to hold it again. So I'm going to place it on there, flush with this face on here, squeeze it. Got to squeeze your wood, you know. Crikey, oh, blimey. And now I'm using my Tyzac tenon saw, pack saw. That's on there. Oh, I think that is actually going to help, you know. See, the thing is, you see, once you start the cut, and you can't wade through the wood, you don't need any guide, it's just going to follow. But I've got a sneaky suspicion this gadget is not just going to provide a square cut, but it's actually going to create a smoother cut. Because the strokes that I'm making are, how to put it, they're more accurate, they're smoother, they're less juddery, and yeah, very, yes, I would say it's probably done the job. I don't know if it's going to be as square as last time though. The pull saw. Oh, I don't know. Oh no, that's square. See? I'll check that. Yeah, that's perfectly square. So if you're struggling, remember I wasn't influencing the cut at all. The only thing that was influencing the cut was that little magnet. 40 years! I should have known this. For 40 years I've been doing it differently. Well, 30 years. 30 years I've been doing it differently. Well, what I say to you is, give it a go. Because these magnets here, these little kneading magnets, they're like, I think you get like 10 of them for, about £6, €6, €6 or €7. You get 10 of these little magnets. And these are the 20mm. You go bigger if you want, you know. You can make the thing bigger if you want. And put 2 in, or whatever. They wouldn't be, well, I don't know. Would that be too bad to run across? They're quite strong magnets, you see. Yeah. Do you know what? This is something I'm actually going to use, because I suffer with carpal tunnel syndrome, so I find it quite difficult to grip the tool. Anyway, I'm always, you know, it's like you're always slipping off the end of your wood and stuff. It's no good, you know, or the tool. Anyway, so I think this is actually going to be something that I'm going to use quite a lot, actually. And other people who are struggling to cut square, it could be a lifesaver for you, especially while you're learning this skill. Because this is like a training device. That's what it is. It's a hand sawing training device. And how easy is that? Anyone can make that. It's a block of flipping wood with a magnet set in the bottom. I don't suppose you really even... No, I would personally, but you haven't got to even recess it like that. You know, you could recess it with a spade bit if you've got no force in the bits. Or you could just screw it onto the top and still work. Not as well, I don't think, but it would still work. So anyway, that is my little saw guide. It was aimed at the Catawba, all right? But it is equally good for a back saw, and I don't see why it wouldn't work on a panel saw of any size, you know? It's about the principle and the idea, you know, you make it the same. What say you? Please leave your comments down below and tell me what you think. Do you think it was a good idea? Or do you think it's just a bit of a gimmick? Have I lost the plot? It says about mobility, you see, and access for people who can't necessarily, who are struggling. I think it's a really good little thing. I'm really impressed with it. If I do say so myself. I bet somebody else has done, somebody's done it already, haven't they? I bet they have. Anyway, it's time for me to go. So I choose to leave it. But please boot the old like button because it helps the channel, you know. And maybe subscribe to the channel and little bell. Okay, boot the like. Hang on, I got it all wrong, done it. Oh, please boot the like button. That's it, because it helps the channel, you know. And maybe subscribe to the channel and a little bell icon, because then you get a warm fuzzy feeling in your pocket every time I upload another video. And yes, I probably lost my mind. Toodaloo.